favorite films.
I know of it. I haven't actually seen it.
It's a great movie.
Watch it. It's an amazing movie.
It's a great movie. I love Dustin Hoffman because of that movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't a
phenomenal.
fan of him until I saw that. And I didn't see that movie until college, and that's when I was just like.
I saw it in college too.
Yeah.
We had a whole class about it, and I was like, ooh,
yeah. Was it
great.
a lit class?
No, it was a film appreciation.
Yeah, mine was like a
course.
literature class, and we studied it like broke it down like you do like a book
Shot by shot, and no, it was super good. I love Dustin Hoffman. Like, if I continued doing the film thing, he was like one of the actors that I was like, I need to do something with Dustin Hoffman. Like, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's just how I felt, and not to mention he's fucking Hook from Hook.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Just him and Rufio, get him in the same room. Dante Basco, Rufio,
Rudy.
Now, Rudy.
Rudy.
I wasn't raping those women, Rudy. What you saw?
I put the pills in the pudding.
Kids say the darndest things. I feel like I have a pretty good Bill Cosby impression.
For a tiny white girl from Mississippi, yeah, it's pretty good.
Thank you.
All things considered.
We should be recording.
We are.
Yeah, I figured we were recording.
Okay.
We should be recording. That's good because we are.
I honestly thought you started recording like 20 minutes ago.
I didn't.
No, I know that now.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I was just thinking this was actually like mildly funny, natural conversation. I was like, oh, this would be great. If it would be a good thing, it is.
Yeah.
Great. This is going to be fun for you to edit out.
If it gets edited out.
This probably won't get edited out.
We were talking shit about Bill Cosby.
Wow, what a controversial stance.
Yeah. Man, hard to find somebody that really is a big Bill Cosby fan right now. It's mostly just Theo, you know.
You know what else I like that most people don't? Equality.
Oh my God. I've never heard that bullshit before. So I feel like because we're already like 3 minutes in, we should let everybody know. Welcome to the Junk Drawer Show. Our first with multiple non-males.
Wow. Equality, like I said.
Yeah, non-males. That's how I will exclusively refer to them as.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No, this is the first time we've ever done a four-person podcast. This is the first time we've had guests on with actual equipment. So this is like a monumental podcast for us. This is the first time I'm going to have to wear headphones the whole time to make sure that you guys aren't too quiet. It's going to be great. It's going to be super. So it's me, Pat, as always, and my partner in crime.
And it's
always.
Josh.
And we also have one of you.
Jordan.
That's my name.
That is your name.
Way to recognize that.
She's self-aware. Shit.
Jordan, also known as the tiny white girl version of Bill Cosby.
It's true.
Josh, how many times has she roofied you?
Well, that I remember. 7.
Great question. Great follow-up question.
Okay. So some of my hobbies may include wearing great sweaters and giving life advice to small children and date raping women. But I don't think that's a huge deal.
See, I know the first one's true. You do have a collection of sweaters.
I really do have a big collection of tacky sweaters.
Is Bill Cosby the inspiration behind that, or you're just a tacky person?
I just don't. I'm a tacky person. I don't actually own a Cosby sweater. I would like to get my hands on like a legit, like kind of itchy, woolly Cosby sweater.
Yeah.
Especially if I could get one that was on the show. Hopefully their value has depreciated because of all the rapings.
I think they've gone up because there's probably pills in there. Let's be real.
You can't really get those anymore either.
You can't. They're not.
I mean,
Quaaludes are hard to find.
where would he have pockets?
I heard about that
sweaters?
from Wolf of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Quaaludes.
That documentary.
That
I've
real life.
I've never seen that documentary. I heard it was riveting.
It was riveting.
Oh my God. No one's a frog in that movie.
Croak, 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 bullfroggy love.
Good times. And we also have a fourth person on our podcast, Celeste, if you want to say anything.
Hi guys.
All right.
Hey,
That's a thing.
Hey.
She's gonna be the person you hear from the least, but she's definitely here. That's not Josh doing a voice, like it's an actual person.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
That was pretty good.
I've done worse.
I feel good about it.
Now, Celeste, how about you and me go and find a private place?
Oh my, small
Bill,
white
no.
lady
No.
Cosby.
Bill, no. Now's not the time.
Oh. Well,
Run away.
to bring this to a direct stop. Bring this to a direction. Hurricane Irma's coming. That's going to be fun.
Oh, boy.
So much excitement.
Yay.
I'm really excited to see some wind and see some rain.
There's going to be a lot of it to see, I think, is what the weather people
Do
are
you like
saying.
weather?
Do you weather?
We are having much weather, are we not?
I saw
much
weather
better
one
indeed.
time.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were your feelings on that?
It was breathtaking.
Oh, literally?
Yes.
No, but seriously, you've actually been through like one of these massive, giant, scary ones before, yes?
Yeah, I've been through a couple of them. I know Hurricane Andrew hit when I was a baby. And then Hurricane George, he was a Category 3 that had affected like the Gulf Coast and Mississippi a good bit. I don't remember how old I was. I was young though. I know I was under 10. And then when I was going into middle school, like going into like my 8th grade year of school, Katrina hit. So.
Did that fuck up your school year at all, or
Oh
was
yeah,
it,
like we were out
like
of school.
how bad?
I mean, we were out of school for at least a month, and I just remembered like everything was water damaged, and like it just smelled weird and bad, and everything
Was it like moldy, or was it more like dirty? Because there's a difference. Mold is musky.
Like a swamp, or like someone made macaroni and cheese and left it in the sink?
No, it was more like a dirty smell, just where you could tell water had sat in there. But any mold that had been in there, I'm sure they had cleaned out. Hopefully,
I mean, you would hope, but
it is the Mississippi public school system. So.
What are your schools like out there? Like the high schools here that we have are pretty much all like the main buildings and classrooms are inside, but all the walkways are outside. Is it the same way up there?
Well, the middle school I went to, it was sort of like that, but not really. Like it was like there was like 2 main buildings. It was like where the 7th graders were and where the 8th graders were.
Mm-hmm.
But all the like in the 7th grade one was just like a giant hallway, and that's where all the classes were. And then there was a band hall that you had to walk to and everything. But other than that, like then there was the 8th grade thing where it was 2 other buildings, and then there was like a little walkway pathway through there
In between them.
Yeah.
So how do you feel
My
about
high school was like that though, where some hallways were indoor, but then some were like actual like classrooms you entered from the outside, similar to like a
pods?
college campus. No, like they were in buildings, but you walked to the door from the outside of the building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like similar to how some college campus classrooms are.
how do you feel about still being able to pass for a 7th or 8th grader?
Pretty good. Especially because I can easily buy kids meals and no one questions it. And
Save a lot of money at the movies.
Look at this
Yeah.
adorable little girl, just doing her own thing. So much respect.
this isn't necessarily related to the fact that I could pass as a child, but because I am the size of a child, shoes are very cheap for me. I usually buy little boy shoes instead of women's shoes. And they're like half the price.
But why not little girl shoes?
Because little girl shoes are going to be smaller, because little girls usually have smaller, tinier feet.
Dainty little feet.
Yeah, so it's easier for me to find a little boy shoe I could fit in, per se, rather than a little girl shoe.
So what you're saying are your kicks are fresh.
All the time.
Sick. I'm about it.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I was just going to add on to the fact that I've not been through one of these seriously before. Like last year, I went through Matthew a little bit to a lesser degree, because Matthew was actually like nothing. It was like 45 mile an hour
Right.
winds for like
Yeah.
45 minutes.
like
and-
last minute it just
You
been-
want to
Yeah.
know what's funny? Last year, my parents guilt tripped me, and I actually left for Matthew, and then found out nothing happened. So I literally went home for like 3 or 4 days for no reason.
super anticlimactic.
Right, exactly. And then, this year, major hurricanes hitting, and it has a very eerily feeling to what Katrina did right before she hit, and like the trajectory path, and even just like how people are acting. Like it's like this weird, like it's like last year people were flipping
People
out
are nuts
for
right now.
Matthew. Well, people are nuts right now, but I feel like more people are I don't know, being a little more lax about evacuating.
Now, do you think that has something to do with Harvey as well? Do you think people saw what happened in Texas and they're like, it's not going to be that bad, so I can...
I do. I think it's a mix of, they said Matthew was going to be bad up until a few hours before he hit, and half of Miami lost power with him last year. And, like I said, nothing happened. But then, like Harvey just hit and... people were like, oh, that's terrible. We don't want that to happen to us. But then I think it's one of those things like, oh, well, that just happened. There's no way it could be as bad as that. But then you see like what it has done to Puerto Rico. And I think it's like St. Pete that it's affected really bad.
St. Pete was rough. Pete, St. Thomas was also bad.
Yeah.
And St. Martin was...
St. Martin was bad.
Completely devastated.
Yeah.
I have family in Puerto Rico. Still no power. All the cell towers are down right now. It's like going back into the Stone Age.
Yeah, like
it's scary. Like I don't know how my family's doing. We haven't been able to get a call through or anything like that.
That's how it was during Katrina. So I remember watching it from my front porch, and like weirdly enough, my house actually wasn't very, very affected. We only lost a few shingles, but some of our neighbors, like they had trees on their houses, things like fences. We lost our fence completely. It was just ripped up from the ground. It was awful. And then there were like massive plantation homes that were on the Gulf Coast along the beach line for over 100 years, like since the Civil War and everything. And then now even to this day there's still slabs. Like there are still properties on the Gulf Coast that there's just nothing there but a slab of what used to be there. And the thing was, like, it was awful with New Orleans, what happened with the levees breaking and the flooding, but Mississippi ended up taking a lot of the wind damage on top of the storm surge they got from being right on top of the Gulf of Mexico. And I think it took like a month before people got power back. And some people even went without power. I remember we were a while where we couldn't find gas or water anywhere, and we eventually had to leave and go to Alabama.
So having all of that happen to you, just to wrap it up into a nice, neat little ball, what are your expectations? What do you think is going to happen with Irma? Having watched as much news as we've watched, having, this Disney's closing for 2 days. They said flat out, they were like, we're not going to open. Like, it's not a thing that's happening. What do you expect?
The thing is, you can't expect anything with hurricanes, and that everybody says you have to be prepared, which you do. But at the end of the day, like, you don't know how bad it's going to be.
You prepare for the worst or hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's really no true expectation to have, just because like I remember when Katrina was happening, I knew it was scary, but I didn't think it was going to be as bad as what it was afterwards, because even when I was watching the storm, I was just like, this just seems like a really bad storm. And because it was, I guess, so fast, I didn't realize the true destruction until days later when we were driving through my hometown trying to leave Mississippi, and weeks later rather, but things were just destroyed, like seeing buildings that you pass by every day that were just gone or torn in half. So I mean, it's just one of those things, like, you have to prepare for the worst case scenario. You have to prepare to be without power for a while and without getting a new food or water source, and you just have to hope for the best and try to stay positive. And you just have to hope that when it's over, it isn't going to be as bad as it was in New Orleans, or it was in Houston, or, in St. Martin in Puerto Rico right now. But
there was one island, I forget what it was called, but like 95 of it is just gone.
95%.
That was St. Martin.
That was St. Martin?
That was St. Martin.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day.
It's just completely gone.
Yeah, I can't imagine walking outside the store and seeing most of these buildings gone.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Like I said, in my neighborhood, because where I lived, we weren't so close to the beach. But as you drove closer to the beach, it's like I said, you used to drive by these beautiful buildings, like the gorgeous architecture all the time. And the thing was, like, that's all I remember seeing my whole life. So, 11, 12 years of my life go by, you see the same thing in the same town, and then one day you're driving through it and it's all gone. Like it's eerie.
Yeah, kind of shell shocking.
It is. It doesn't feel real. It feels like you're in like a movie almost.
It's like an alternate reality.
Yeah,
it's like when you go back to your hometown and there's been a bunch of construction. So where things used to not be, now they are.
Yeah.
Like where I'm from, it's been blowing up since I moved away. There's like outlets now. There's like this huge outlet thing that used to just be a massive cow field.
That's I go like years without going home. So the last time I went home, I like drove around and I was like, I don't know what any of this is. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, when did this stoplight get put in? And my mom would look at me and just be like, 2 years ago. And I was like, got it. Haven't been here in 3 years. Stuff's changed.
Yeah.
Understood.
So it's the same concept as that, but instead of going, oh, stuff changed and there's something there, it's, oh shit, that's gone.
It's gone
forever. Yeah.
And it's never coming back.
Yeah. But
So-
there's nothing in its place. It's just nothing. So it's like Josh said, you have to prepare for the worst but hope for the best, because if you have any kind of expectation, you're either going to be mildly in a weird way disappointed that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, or if you don't think it's going to be that bad, and then you're going to freak out when you realize how bad it is.
Yeah, and we've done, I mean, for Irma, we've done everything we really can. We have the windows taped up already. We got cardboard ready to go because we couldn't find plywood because we didn't try.
We did not try.
But no, I mean, I'm personally very confident in just our ability to get through it.
Yeah, I'm not super
worried.
concerned. I don't think there's a whole bunch to worry about, but that's that might be some bravado, some confidence, but so I will say one of us at this table did experience something, for Matthew at least, Celeste.
Ooh.
Your school got evacuated last year, didn't you? For
Nope.
Matthew?
Nope.
No,
We didn't even hear about it.
You didn't even, what?
We didn't hear about it.
Didn't you
at all.
guys like not go to school or something?
They just
Didn't they
skipped.
cancel
Wait.
classes? That was last
Wait,
year.
no,
Yeah.
hold on.
Oh God.
Holding.
Unless that was the one. That might have been the one when I was moving in.
It was in like
Like the big
October, September, October,
It was
somewhere.
It was
around
around
this
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was around
it was
last
around
year.
It
now.
was, yep.
Yeah, didn't you
Yep.
guys get evacuated?
No.
No?
No.
You guys
the
just hung
freshmen
out?
just couldn't go outside for 3 days apparently.
Oh.
Only the freshmen?
Only the freshmen. They were the only ones
That's
on campus
hilarious.
at the time.
Oh, okay. I thought they just
And this is
said,
a college,
"Oh, yeah,
this
you're
is a
too
college
young."
campus, right? Like,
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Because the freshmen have to do is like 3 week, we call it autumn term, where it's just essentially freshman orientation for a solid 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So it was between that time and then when the upperclassmen moved in. So I moved in like the aftermath of that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I was so surprised
fun.
last year when nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Like it was so quiet. We ended up, me and my my roommate at the time, just walked around and met one of our neighbors, and he came in and we started playing board games because it was just so quiet.
Speaking of board games.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got Settlers of Catan, a game
so
that
excited.
I have not ever played before, so
Neither
I'm
have
going
I.
to lose.
It's quite interesting.
Oh, you
I-
have played before?
I love
have played
that
before.
both Celeste and I have played,
Yeah.
and neither of you two.
Yeah,
have.
but Josh had a full-on boner for it before we left.
It was a semi-chub.
Okay, but it was pretty close.
It
Yeah,
only
pretty
became a full boner whenever you asked me what board game I wanted to play, and I was like, "Oh, we should do Settlers of Catan."
Oh, right. I mean, it's no Cones of Dunshire.
It is no
but,
Cones of Dunshire.
But I'm all about Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
In concept.
So
Is
that's
it Catan or Catan?
I say Catan.
I was
I don't.
always
But
told
again,
Catan.
I've
See, I was told Catan, but I
Yeah.
want to say Catan.
I've never played before, so I'm gonna say it however the hell I want to say it.
GIF or GIF?
Oregon
It's
Trail.
GIF.
Yeah,
It's
definitely
GIF.
GIF.
Absolutely GIF. If you say GIF, I hate you as a person.
Yeah.
No,
Just know that.
okay. Whoa.
I'm just saying,
One,
like,
I was
in an overarching
tomato,
statement.
tomato. I was just trying to.
I'm just saying, in an overarching statement, if there's a person that
feel-
listens to
I
this
felt very attacked.
that is
just
like,
now.
oh, it's a GIF. No, it's not. You're stupid. Don't talk to me.
You're tacky and I hate you.
That's fine. I'm good with it.
You're
No,
tacky
I'm on
and
your
I
side.
hate
I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm adding to your words.
I appreciate that. So Josh, what are your thoughts, feelings? You've been pretty cool as a cucumber in this whole thing that has happened. I think I came to you about a week ago, and I was like, "Hey, shit might get crazy," and then slowly shit
Slowly
kind of got
did.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel about these things and this stuff?
I always feel like worrying doesn't do anything. So I'm pretty calm and neutral until something actually happens. Like I still feel the need to prepare.
You're one of the
But-
people though that you're, I think, the only person really. I have a couple family members, I guess, in a danger zone, but you're a family, a significant amount of family members in like a oh shit, it might get real here.
Yeah.
So how does that?
That's the only part that I'm a bit more concerned about, because they're out in Pinellas and Pasco County on the West Coast, right? Yeah, West Coast.
Yeah, it's West Coast.
Yep.
So I know my dad has a areas around him are evacuating, but he's like in the highest point of Pinellas, so it's less concerning. And then my mom and stepdad have recommended evac, but they have 3 dogs and my younger brother, so it's like a little late to try and figure out what to do, especially with the dogs. Like that's the one that's a killer.
At the last at the 11th hour, they're like, "Oh, hey guys, you should leave," and well,
shit.
not really giving us much time to do anything.
But my mom's been through a whole bunch of them, and we lived in Oklahoma for a while, so we dealt with tornadoes.
Tornadoes? Is that how you say it, Jordan? Tornadoes?
Diabetes.
I hate the both of you so much right now.
Why?
Tornadoes.
How hard do you have to try to hide your accent?
I try really hard.
Is it still a conscious thing, or has it become slightly subconscious?
What?
Like you
Speaking without it?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of situational. Like if I feel like I'm having to be professional or do a presentation in a sense.
So like this.
Yeah, like this, or even, you know, the YouTube stuff I work on. Like I make sure I try to talk without the accent, but it's like when I'm more, I guess, relaxed and I don't know, not really focusing on anything, that's when it comes out. I mean, granted, I'm drinking right now, and I'll be drinking.
There could be a slip.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be drinking heavily throughout the weekend because of the hurricane. So it'll definitely.
We stocked up.
Yeah,
it definitely
we're
comes
prepared.
out the more I drink, or if I'm very tired, or when I'm really upset or mad or excited. Just basically any like large amount of emotion. Comes out.
Anything but right now.
Anything
you will
but dead
hear,
center. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
but dead center.
Exactly.
Do you pick up accents, or do any of you pick up accents when you go to a place, or you're talking to someone that has an accent?
So I don't know if I pick it up, but when I go home, even for a couple of days, I'll speak faster than I normally speak, because that's just how, like that's
how the Northeast
that's
is.
how
It
goes.
really is. The Northeast people talk very quickly, and it's just rushed. And if I spend a considerable amount of time with my Uncle Anthony, who speaks very fast and kind of like he's on drugs, even though he's not, I will speak like him, and then it's just you're like, Pat, you need to slow down.
Breathe.
Take the Coke away from your nose and just like breathe.
And just
Nose
drink it like a
candy.
normal
The
person.
nose can't. Yeah, just drink it like don't snort it, because then it hurts.
That's
the only
literally-
beverage that has ever come out of my nose, by the way. Coca-Cola came out of my nose one time,
I'm
and
so
it
sorry.
burnt
Yeah.
so bad. The only thing, I was with my cousin. We were kids, and we were sitting at like that old play school, like gray table with the blue chair and the red chair.
Yes.
You know
Oh, the
exactly.
Fisher
the
Price.
Fisher Price one,
Yeah.
yeah. And
It always smelled weird.
it smelled the worst. And I was sitting in the red chair because the red Power Ranger, fuck you, that's why. And we were just like making fun of each other. We were laughing, we were joking, and I laughed so hard as I was drinking something that I like couldn't keep it in, and it just right out of my nose. And it was just one of the most
Your eyes
painful
tear
things.
up real
Oh
bad
my
too,
god,
and they're
so
burning.
bad.
Oh god.
It was just, and like, but for the next day I could smell everything. It was like in a 4-mile radius. It was like, oh my god, a dog just took a shit.
So what you're saying is everyone should pour Coke up their nose.
If you want to have superpowers.
I mean, who wouldn't want superpowers?
It's only super smell, so it's like it's the Aquaman of having super like of an element or a super sense.
It's like being the fastest turtle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're still kind of a shitty animal,
Yeah.
but
You've tried.
Turtles
whatever.
are not shitty.
I mean, they make good soup, but
wow.
I actually don't know. I've never had it, but
I would assume
yeah,
it's got to be like real tender.
I feel. And you have a bowl built in.
It's a built-in bowl. It's like a bread bowl, but turtle.
Yeah.
But turtle.
And then you can use it as a bowl for other things.
Just gonna slurp some turt, you know? That's gross.
Yeah.
Should have said that. Slurp some turt like you slurp soup and then turtle soup, slurp turt. No? Okay, cool.
You know
Glad
that- you
this
know-
is
It sounded
that
like you
meme?
sucked butthole. That's where I
That
went.
is what it sounded like. But you know that meme that's a star and it just says "You tried" in Comic Sans.
Yeah.
That's what I wish I had right now.
Oh god, that's just
You're
so
not
great.
wrong. I wish you all.
She said slurp some turd, and in her
Yeah.
face was immediate regret. She was just like,
shit.
is there a backspace for words that I said?
Right.
Is that a thing?
Command Z.
Right.
Undo.
Have you ever gotten like a popcorn kernel stuck? Because that's
Bless you.
the fucking worst.
Like in your teeth?
you.
Oh, bless you.
Or
no,
in your throat?
in like your sinus.
No.
Yeah,
What?
like
How are you eating
What do you
popcorn?
mean?
No, imagine. Well, how do you get Coke in your nose? It's the same thing. Like you're
I was
eating and
laughing. and
yeah,
it
someone
came
makes
out
you
of my-
laugh while you're eating popcorn, and some of it can like pop up.
Has that
I've
happened?
never
to you?
Yeah.
heard of that.
That sounds really
Once
painful.
it was the worst.
It does sound painful, but it also sounds like you're eating popcorn wrong.
Look,
So,
don't
man.
tell me how to live my life.
Am I
My
not-
grandparents came to this country so that I could eat popcorn how I wanted.
Where did they come to this country from?
Puerto Rico.
That's a part of this country, Josh.
And then before that, they were somewhere else.
Where were they before that, Josh?
Spain.
Okay.
Oh, so you're the snooty Spaniards. Got it. Understood.
Mhm.
We
Conquistador.
use vosotros. Okay, cool. Good for you guys.
We use vosotros.
See.
See.
See. Me-
Fly.
See. Fly. Me gusta mucho.
It's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Nice.
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 Yeah. So I guess that's going to be it for our hurricane podcast. I feel like we're just kind of talking in circles now.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good wrapping up point.
Good stopping point. But we're definitely going to be doing some more content throughout the weekend because we don't really have a fucking choice
Yeah, we got nothing else to do. Might as well
other
be
than
productive.
Settlers of Catan, Catan, Catan.
Every time you say Catan,
Yeah.
I feel like you have to swish a wine
Yeah.
glass.
We are going to play Settlers of Catan.
Oh my.
Oh yes. We need a butler. We're playing Settlers of Catan. Call Georgie. Georgie. That's what I went. I was gonna say Alfred, but it's
It's too on the nose.
too on the nose. I needed Georgie.
Yeah, you can't see right now, but Pat is in a full
Georgie
Batman
sounds like
outfit.
he's like
I am.
a cool young butler that's like interning under the old butler that's like been your butler forever.
He's like he's the one that does speed, but like still's there all the time.
right, like the
he
guy
cleans the house every day.
Every day.
like the,
All of it.
Like the guy, the butler that's like mentoring him is named like
Alfred.
no, not Alfred.
Augustus.
I was thinking like
Like a really old name.
yeah, like Theodore or
Roosevelt.
Chesterfield.
Chesterton Fieldville.
Yeah,
Chesterfield's my shit.
you know, something like that. And then it's just like he's helping Georgie learn to become a good butler. And then at the end of the show or movie or whatever, Georgie's like, you can call me George. And he becomes like the perfect butler and everyone fucking loves him.
Dibs on movie rights. Got him.
Shit. But I came up with the name. Can I do I get a percentage?
What name did you come up with? Just
Georgie.
Georgie?
Georgie was-
Would the movie be called Georgie?
Probably.
Is it set in Georgia?
No,
obviously.
It would have
Okay.
to be like...
Oh, can his love interest be Georgia?
Oh my God, yes. Georgie and Georgia, and together they have a child named Harold.
They just got real confused and just, fuck.
They were like, we can't, what do we do?
Command Z.
Command Z.
Can we undo a person? And then that's the sequels when they try to kill each other. I don't know.
Mr. and
why.
Mrs. What's her last name? State?
Georgia. I know. Savannah.
He took her last name.
Aw.
It was
George
Savannah.
That's so progressive.
Georgie Savannah and Georgia Savannah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
see?
good.
You see what I did there? You see?
I
Did
don't
you see
like
it?
that.
Too bad. You're not in this anymore.
I literally wrote the whole thing.
Yeah, and
just
I called
now.
dibs on
What?
it, so I own it.
I came up with George. If I didn't say Georgie, none
said
of this would have
dibs.
happened. None of this would have happened if I didn't say Georgie. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, none of this would have happened if.
Okay, bye.
If none of this would have happened.
Josh is running away. Bye, Josh.
Step. Slam door.
So Josh is going to tell you what our social media is, and then we're going to be done.
Well, shit. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at the Junk Drawer Show,
Yes.
except for Twitter, which has an underscore after the. But Instagram,
underscore
YouTube does not
Junk
have
Drawer Show.
a URL yet because you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and we have 2,
Yay.
which is like 1,000,
but minus 998.
but minus most of it. Just got to round up.
That's a heavy round.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something,
Yeah.
do all of it.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
So
You should say it now.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. We'll be back next time. Junk Drawer Show. Check us out because we're awesome.